Hello and welcome to the Soulful Mamas podcast. You're with Maria and thank you for joining me today. It's so cool that you're here. Today is going to be a Maria's Musings episode and I am musing on this current time right now where we are moving into the new moon. So whatever your time zone is, but today is the 25th of June and for us in New Zealand it will be new moon later tonight. So I'm just coming off the back of that dark moon energy where you're like dropping into the void, into your cave, and it's a contemplating type of energy, preparing for that new energy coming in. So while I was in that dark moon phase, in fact it's really been a bit of a portal, if you like, from the solstice till now. The solstice on the 21st of June, summer solstice for you in the north and winter solstice for us in the southern hemisphere. And from that point, I don't know about you, whether what you've felt in this last 3 or 4 days, but the energy has been strong, potent, a little bit tumultuous. I felt that within my own being, and definitely on a greater collective level scale, you can see that with different happenings around the world. There's a bit of a shake-up, a little bit of uncertainty sitting in that place. So I've had to really drop into a lot of being and resting rather than the outer doing, whether I wanted to or not. It was almost a compulsory sacred pause, Maria. So I have been very much in that space, and while I've been in that space, I've been thinking about what the sign of Cancer represents, what that means for me, for us. And then I was thinking, okay, so Cancer is that the picture of the great mother, that mother, the carer, the nurturer, the emotional realm. Cancer is ruled by the moon, so emotions. It's a water sign. So all of these expressions were sort of going through my mind and what that means, what that represents. And then I was really leaning into that picture of the great mother, the divine mother archetype. And, Cancer really, really embodies that. So it makes sense that I'm thinking about it while I'm in that void. And as I was in that, knowing I was in that dark moon energy, I was likening it to the womb. And, the womb of the great mother, that safe space within where you're held and nurtured, and it might be dark, but it still feels like you've been held and you're safe. So, and it got me thinking to, soulful mamas, you yourself, you're a soulful mama, and this community of soulful mamas and what that is, what that represents, who we are, and just how we generally as mothers, you keep going, right? You keep going and doing and showing up, and sometimes we forget to slow down or pause just enough to reflect and to recognize just how far we've come and celebrate all of the wins and not waiting for it to be a big one. More importantly, celebrating all of the little ones, I don't even know if you want to call them wins, but those little moments, those sacred moments with your children, with your family, they're all sacred. And sometimes they don't feel exactly that in the moment, but when we reflect and we can look back on an event as an opportunity to expand and grow even deeper, and to really draw on the resources we have, or the tools we have, or the support we have, and still manage to come up and out the other side and grow and evolve, and all the while, soulful mamas, this picture of unconditional love. And for me, that archetype of the great mother, a divine mother, is unconditional love. And that can be expressed, if you look at it on a greater scale. What does the great mother look like? That's Gaia, Pachamama, whatever name, Papatoinaku. She represents this great mother archetype with absolute unconditional love. We get to live on this planet, on our Mother Earth, and she allows us this experience. And, it feels like, for the most part, we're in a very toddler phase or adolescent phase of not caring too much and not always getting things right in terms of taking care of our great mother, but yet she still allows our presence, and we get to have this experience, this earthly experience here. So that's going further out and even beyond. We can give different names to that. Could be Demeter, could be Hathor, could be Mother Mary, could be Mary Magdalene. It could be all the different names, where these archetypal pictures of that feminine energy, holding, loving, supporting, underpinned by unconditional love. Excuse me. And as we've stepped into the season of Cancer, what does that look like? Cancer, the nurturer. Cancer, that water sign. So emotions. Cancer can be a bit moody. But Cancer, the mother, that picture, symbol of the crab, hard shell, soft interior. And, you've most likely you may yourself be Cancer in your astrology, or know someone who is. And, think about how they show up in the world, and thinking about that nurturing mother archetype. So I guess my message really for today is, one, it's really celebrating yourself and acknowledging all the great things that you do and all the things you've learned and have evolved from, even something that you thought wasn't so great, but you've learnt from it and you've grown from it. So celebrate yourself, celebrate your other fellow mamas, soulful mamas all around. Lift each other up, recognize, notice, celebrate. And that also creates a community of unconditional love within women, not just women, but within the mums, of you can show up and be messy. You can show up and be having a bad day, a good day, air quotes here, in all the ways. And you're going to be loved regardless. You're still going to be held, and there's room at the table for all of those emotions who want to come forward on any given day. So that's one thing I wanted to share. But also, now that we are right in this new moon energy, new moon, so the sun and the moon are both in Cancer, and conjunct that is Jupiter, the great expander, amplifier. I just wanted to speak to your intentions or your wishes, your dreams, your aspirations. If you are in the habit of setting these, creating these around the new moon cycle, which is wonderful, really give yourself a decent sacred pause to do this today. Allow yourself to drop into that void, that womb-like space of the Great Mother. Just sit and be held and breathe. Drop your shoulders, breathe down deep into your belly and just allow whatever comes up for you to come up in the form of, what is it that I want to create, to express, to be, or to release in this next cycle. And when I look at the cycles, I use the wheel of the year. So I go from solstice to equinox. It'll be a 3-month cycle. And then from the equinox through to solstice again. And I also do solstice to solstice, a 6-month check-in, if you like. But because we've got Jupiter right there and ready to expand all of those wishes and dreams, just take care to ensure that they are truly what you want and how you want them. And then whatever it is that's spoken or written, or however you transmute that little prayer into being, make sure it's exactly an authentic expression of what you truly desire. Maybe you can get a bit more focused and a bit more clarity around what that is. Take away some of the vagueness of it. And this is why sacred pause right now in that womb space. Drop into the womb. If you want, light a candle. Have the warmth of the truth of the fire, of the flame, of the candle, to allow something within your being to stir and let those ideas bubble up and allow them to come up and out through your voice if you're speaking these, or if you're singing these, or through your hand onto the paper if you're writing these or typing these, or maybe through when I do this with my family, I have a lot of what I call medicine, dried herbs and flowers collected from our land, and a pinch or sprinkle of that is placed into the fire along with that prayer or wish, or maybe into the garden, sometimes into the water. You find what feels right and true for you, but allow yourself that time to do it. Do yourself justice. Honor yourself enough, love yourself enough to really drop into it and call forth those deepest desires. And it doesn't mean it's going to be an instant manifestation of whatever that was. What you're doing is, by really dropping into it, you are starting to embodying what it is that you're desiring to become. And then this is where your focus is. Your focus is on that. And so therefore, with that intention and focus in that direction, it means that the universe can help support that by calling in, bringing in people, examples, opportunities, messages that will support that you've got your focus on. So we have to do our part too. We have to hold the dream, hold the vision and notice, really pay attention to when little opportunities present themselves. And this happens, you know how this happens, it's been unbusy, because we're in a world of busyness, and the world is full of distractions in all of their forms. I don't need to tell you them, you know them. But it's so easy to get caught in the loop, in the cycle of them. Social media, dramas, division, all of that. Duality of this and that and this and that and this and that. And you can't, there's not a space where both things can be true. We're not at that stage always. We're moving towards, we can go beyond duality, and we can be further up that mountain and try and strive for perspective of all of the ways, all of the options, all of the opinions. And being in that space of awareness and being able to hold that within your being of an overarching desire for unity and peace. Starts with yourself though. Are you feeling peace within your own being? Is your own body, your own being have a feeling of unity? And then what about your family, your direct family, your household? It really does start with us, and then it radiates and ripples out. But the more we can become more sovereign beings in choosing to take control of our thoughts, our words, our expressions, it's liberating because you get to choose. And this happens when you allow yourself the simplest things. And that's stillness, quiet, turn off the distractions, the noise, even podcasts. I know you're probably doing something right now at the same time as listening to this because, I do the same thing. And I have to really consciously check myself sometimes and just do something in silence, quiet, or allow natural conversation to evolve rather than everyone having their own experience of whatever podcast or music they're listening to. Yeah. Okay, so they're my musings for today, everybody. 1, you're amazing. Soulful Mama community, you yourself, celebrate you. 2, allow yourself an extra sacred pause today to drop into, what is it? I'm calling in solstice to solstice. What are my intentions? And be really mindful and thoughtful about what it is. And then notice, once you've spoken it out, notice when the signs come towards you and start to accept and say that sacred yes. Receive them, and then the momentum grows, right? More and more of the same will be presented and reflected back to you. Okay, and now, before I go, I have had some people reach out and ask if I'm going to do another Wheel of the Year cycle. I haven't created one, which would normally be solstice to equinox. I haven't started that yet. I've shared before, I've just been focusing on my own sacred pause, if you like, and recalibrating my own being and family. And that it will resume. I just can't exactly tell you when. But what I am opening up more to is working with you one-on-one. And that's in a space, Awaken with Maria. And we explore those inner realms. And I walk alongside you to rediscover your own inner knowing, your own inner wisdom. And just give you a bit of support and some tools, guidance, so you can awaken to your own magic. And I love doing this. It's really, it's beautiful. I love seeing women like really step in and shine in their own light. And it's just incredible. And for me, I'm just the guide alongside you, but sometimes we need that. I mean, I myself have needed it too. It's all within you. You've got it all within you. We all do. But sometimes we're not meant to do everything alone. Sometimes it's nice to hold somebody's hand and be supported through. So if that is something that you might be interested in, just let me know. Probably for the next cycle of that will be about mid-July until October, because it's quite a held little cauldron container of 10 to 12 weeks. So it's me wrapping you up and we're going on a journey and I'm with you. So for that, I'm probably only going to see 2 people, maybe 3. So if that's something that you might be interested in, please let me know. I would love to chat with you and explore this further, see if it's the right fit, if it aligns. Right, beautiful souls, have a most soul-filling, magical new moon in Cancer. Look after yourself, celebrate yourself and your fellow mamas, and I will see you again soon.